exits from the theatre. There's the week to help in its charitable works to raise money. We decided to put on a 4-night Autumn Revels. And thanks to your generous selves for coming along, I think you will agree that £2 is very good value in this day and age. So we would ask you to be a little bit extra generous at the interval for our...
they were all a tingle. Then the ship struck a rock with a terrible shock. 'Twas the missing that they hit in the fog. But what of that ship of state? Shall they meet a similar fate with Charlie Haughey as the Irish Bishop?
Like a corpse that's awake, as a frozen stiff I'd win first prize. So I took myself off up to Sheezer's, got bits of riches to help me survive. An electric blanket or two, I wore leg warmers too, in the summer of 1985. Thank you!
In the right place.
And this looks like it, all right, Toots.
I'm afraid, ladies, you've made a mistake. This room is reserved for a wedding party.
Oh, we made no mistake. We are part of the wedding.
We are invited guests.
It's rather unusual for the guests to arrive before the bride and groom.
Well, this is a rather unusual wedding.
You'll know why when you see the groom.
Anyway, we gave our presents. We've a right to be here. We're going to get our money's worth.
Come on to the hotel, Toots, and we'll be in good time to have an aperitif before we sit down to the breakfast. So here we are.
Actually, it's not a sit-down meal. It's a running buffet.
She means a running puppet, Toots.
The bride look awful, and it didn't take a feather out of her. She was as cool as a cucumber.
As a fella, she got one warmer up much.
I feel shock and awkward with nothing in me hands. Not much use shining the glasses if you're going to put nothing in them.
You'd better offer the ladies a drink, Wally. I have other things to attend to.
Would you like a gin and this?
Oh, I'd pass to us up a gin, all right, but I wouldn't mind a bit of it either.
And you, madam? I'll have a sherry. Do you like it dry? No, wet.
What do you think, young man, George? Huh?
Oh, he's lovely. Gorgeous smell of them.
Now, ladies, this will refresh you.
Oh, you're an angel.
This is lovely. Have one yourself.
Oh, I'm not supposed to.
I'm sure you do many's the thing you're not supposed to.
Well, maybe I'll just have one, just to keep you company.
Oh, big old boy, you can keep me company anytime. Ashes of roses, Maisie.
Are you sure it's in lavender water?
No, ashes of roses. I've a very instinctive nose. It never lets me down.
It's a pity the rest is not like your nose.
To your bright eyes, girls.
Have you much free time with the job?
Any day I work in the morning, I'm free from 5 in the evening.
I suppose you do night work as well.
Whenever I get the chance.
Since you're working this morning, it means you're free this evening.
That's right.
Oh, the one thing I hate about a wedding is when the bride and groom go off. Everyone's left you right here for the rest of the day.
As a sort of a loose end, you mean?
Right,
And
yeah.
you're never at your best as a loose end.
Well, I'll be knocking around when this is all over, and I'll contact you.
It's a day, fine.
I have a few things to attend to though first, girls, so you will excuse me. If you'd like another drink, you can help yourselves.
He's lovely, Maisie, isn't he?
And don't go making it easy out of yourself over a fella just because there's a spread of ashes or roses on.
But it's the lovely way he talks. Anyone would know he's got breeding.
And I want to pour another drink with you.
God knows when the happy couple will arrive.
But would anyone ever think that me and you would end up in the wedding of Christy Megan?
Ah, Manny's the good night we had with him. Oh, no, I wouldn't marry him if he was the last man on earth.
And you'd be right. You know, I don't think he's normal at all.
Sure, how could he be? He's too fond of this stuff.
That's his only redeeming feature. He couldn't put two words together unless he was half-blasted.
You know, this Casey one that's got him won't let him move an inch. He's Banjack's Maisie. That's what I say.
Dear Kate, to lay down your arms and surrender. This is an awful pain in the neck, that one. Hey, did you see the cut up the aisle this morning?
She was like a turkey cock walking on stubborn.
And a old father into the country, and he dressed up like a tailor's dummy, and a drop on the end of his nose that is drowning kitten.
You know, if poor Christy had his way, one of us two would have been the bridesmaid.
Or even the bride.
And who'd be better in titles?
Oh, poor Christy got the works today.
Although he was the boy that could give the works himself. And it's a good night me and poor Christy have together.
Come on, we'll have another drink.
As we might as well, seeing as we've the field to ourselves.
They're arriving. The happy couple are arriving.
Oh, fix your smile, so here he comes.
This way, the newlyweds, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Christy! The old thing old, how are you, boy?
Well done, Christy, mate.
I knew you'd get yourself in trouble one of these days.
Take your hand off my husband, please.
We finished with your husband years ago, Jockey.
Will Madam have a glass of sherry?
Madam does not take alcohol.
And what about the bridegroom?
I don't
My
mind.
husband doesn't drink either. We'll have 2 glasses of tonic water, please.
Oh, my God, they want a tonic of some sort.
Yeah, Mike, save us at the bottle, bring him back, we'll have him. The tonic water was a good idea, love. It should refresh us.
I have no doubt.
I was always a great one for the tonic water myself. Although I knew a fellow one time who drank too much tonic water and he died. The water and the brain. We might get tonic water on the elbow, Christy.
I think we made a wise choice when we decided to go to the Riviera on our honeymoon, Christopher.
Christopher!
I hope Christopher doesn't get burned on the Riviera. I hope not, because I have a very tender skin.
Now, a little refreshment.
Thank you so much.
Well, on behalf of myself and Miss Casey Hicks, I mean Mrs. Megan, I want to say how proud I am this day to get blood. Now, as you all know, was never married before. But even so, there's not an awful lot about the game I don't know. I'd be the first to admit that I put a quite number of women of all shapes and sizes through my hands. But trust until I met Miss Casey here, I mean Mrs. Megan, that I got the message.
What message, Christy?
The message that tells every man he have a duty to do to himself and a duty to posterity.
Oh, you do your duty, all right, Christy.
Cross Christy?
Well, I took the plunge, I broke the ice, and I waded in.
God, it must have been very wet.
There was something hanging out.
And I set Miss Casey here off her fish.
And she melted your icicle.
And here we are now, man and boy, all better, all worse. Well, I want you to raise your glasses there and drink to the health of myself and Miss Casey.
To Christy and Miss Casey.
I think I'll go now and change into my going away outfit. I won't be long, Christopher.
Oh, take your time now, there's no rush.
Now that she's gone, Wally, will you get Christy a drink?
Oh, I won't, but she smells off me.
So this is your best chance.
Say when, sir.
Oh, never, boy, never.
Oh, that no, Christy, boy.
Good man, Christy.
Oh, that's much better now. That's the first drink I had since last night.
Hey, Christy, you remember that night we went to Morton?
Oh, that was a powerful night, that was.
Have one yourself, Wally.
Ah, sir, I'll have one just to keep you company.
Oh, we're all very lonesome now, Christy.
Oh, sure, I was a terrible man to go and get myself married.
Oh, terrible out, Christy.
But sure, I was always a bit of a devil.
Oh, Christy have the handcuffs on you now, though.
Oh, no, she hasn't. I am going to be the boss in this family. I am going to wear the trousers.
Knickerbockers or shorts, Christy. Should they don't wear trousers on the Riviera?
Oh, be the holy Bamba! Oh, it should be some sight to see me strutting up the beach in me beach pajamas.
And Christy have some fun with them French women.
Oh, them French women better watch out for Christy Megan.
But Christy, what's Miss Casey do?
To hell with that one, I don't talk not.
God, Christy.
Any chance for a bar in Ulster?
Well, now, I have a bit of a cold, but sure, here goes anyway. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Sure, we had to listen to about an hour ago.
That's my husband. I only married him this morning.
You don't say.
Wasn't that the short marriage?
But he's my husband.
Yeah, the girl he courted us for years. You've only had him a couple of hours. We've had him forever.
Oh, Christopher, say something.
Show me the way to go home.
What did I do with her?
Oh, labour there on the ground fire. I'm going to have some honeymoon. I'm singing in the rain, just singing.
So when you sit down up on a hill, and when you see crowds of daffodils, so keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for the song. Whenever April showers come
Umbrellas to repair. Umbrellas to make. Hello, Mark. Hello, Kate. Tooma-looma-looma, tooma-looma-looma, toor-a-lie. Any umbrellas to mend today. Buy a parasol, it may be small, it may be big. I can mend them all with what I call a thingamajig. Pitter-patter, patter, pitter-patter, patter, here comes the rain. Let it pitter-patter, don't mind the rain. I'll mend your umbrellas, then go on my way, singing tooma-looma-looma, toor-a-lay, tooma-looma-looma, toor-a-lay, any umbrellas to mend today. Raindrops keep falling on my head, just like the guy who sees a moving for his bed. Got to sit to bed. Oh, the raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. So I
quiet here, love, after all the excitement of this morning.
But I thought we'd never get away on our own. Just to be with ourselves and our thoughts.
I'm glad we came to Carrick on the honeymoon after all, now.
Sure, everyone says Carrick is a wicked-looking place for a honeymoon.
I wouldn't like to be depending on look where you and I are concerned.
Oh, you're a terrible man, Sylvester.
Tell me, were you very nervous this morning?
Not a bit. Sure, I might have been out milking the cows.
Oh, you say the most romantic things.
I knew you were nervous this morning making your speech at the breakfast. You have a wonderful flow.
Me mother always told me that.
The water in the well there now reminds me of your speech this morning.
How was that?
A wonderful flow.
Drink up that now, love, and I'll refill your mug for you.
Oh, you're very generous. Isn't it a pity it isn't something stronger than water that's in it?
If it was, we'd have to pay for it. We have to watch the pennies from now on, you know. Ah, that's the beauty of Carrick for a honeymoon. You get your refreshments for nothing. Oh, look, here comes that bored 40 man now, and he have a visitor.
This way, mademoiselle, this way.
And is this the beautiful wishing well?
Yes, mademoiselle, this is the famous chlorine well.
And if I drink, I wish, and I get what I wish?
That's the idea.
When I return to Paris, I'd like to see Paris war about the beautiful wishing well at Chlorine. Tomorrow morning I come back at dawn, I take off all of my clothes and I bathe in the beautiful wishing well.
I beg your pardon, no, miss. I know you're a foreigner and all that, but as a lifelong member of the Ballynail Vigilance Committee, I would have to object most strongly to conduct of that nature.
Monsieur is very modest, but do not worry, I will wear the bathing suit, the bikini.
Even so, I'd like you to remember you're in Holy Catholic Carrick now, and not in Paris.
And who is this charming gentleman?
This is Mr. Sylvester Slattery, one of our visitors. And this, Mr. Slattery, is Mademoiselle Fifi of the Parry Swamp.
I'm pleased to meet you, I suppose.
Enchanté, monsieur will not kiss my hand.
Oh, we don't win for that kind of thing around here at all, at all.
In France, always, is the Irishman not gallant?
I suppose I'm better than manly.
I think it's time we went to our room, Sylvester. Come on now, Sylvester.
This is Mr. Slattery's wife. They were married this morning.
Oh, how wonderful! Congratulations, mon chéri! Mwah, mwah! And you are on what they call the great honeymoon, yes? And you have been loved by this wonderful man? Monsieur, we must have a celebration! Champagne for the lovers!
No, miss, no, we can't. I mean, I can't. I'm in the pioneers.
Don't you love her? She is your little moochie. And you love him, he's your little cutie. Ah, yes, they love. And we will have champagne. Champagne for the lovers!
No, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll treat you to a mug of water from the well.
Monsieur is very generous.
Oh, no one knows that better than me, miss.
And when does the lovers' honeymoon end?
Oh, we're having a good long honeymoon. We got married this morning and we're not going home until tomorrow evening.
When Sylvester does a thing, oh God, he does it well.
Is Madame Monsieur's first wife?
I think she's very inquisitive.
No, because I have nothing to be ashamed of at all. I was married twice before, and they both died.
Monsieur was very sad.
And then Mary Katie across me path, so I tripped her out.
Love at first sight.
Aye, well, domestic help is very expensive, you know.
Now you can drink to the happy couple.
To the wonderful Irish lovers.
Is this a Chlorine wishing well? I want a drink.
This well is only for visitors. You can't
Are you
drink.
trying to tell me I can't get a drink of water out of that well? I'd like to see you try to stop me. That well was there before you were ever even heard of.
I think Mary Kate myself will be going now then.
Yeah, well, you won't be missed. It's a bit too congested here for my liking. Come on, Sylvester. She'd make a holy show of it. Mind you don't fall off on my knees.
It is so romantic. They're on their honeymoon.
looks harmless enough. Listen, mister, I have my little fellow outside, and I thought if you'd let me bring him in and maybe you'd give him a drop of your water out of the well.
There's no children allowed here. That's fine.
Listen, miss, I heard the continental women have a great way with the men. Maybe if you could get around his lips here, he might let me bring the little fella in.
I will try. You will do something for your little Fifi. Poor little sick boy. For your little Fifi,
Mademoiselle,
please
please.
let him in or look.
Oh, please, please.
Poor
I give in.
little fella.
You can bring him in and drown him if you like.
Oh, she's a fast worker. That's what they call technique. John Joseph, come on in, boy.
Oh, the poor little kitten, the poor little mousey.
I like her, Ma. I like her.
He's terrible like his father. Come on now, John Joseph, sit over there and rest yourself.
Poor little fellow, does he suffer much?
Oh, he don't suffer at all, miss. But I can't get him to grow. He's what you'd call stunted. And I thought maybe if I brought him in here and we gave him a dip in the well, it might do something for him.
And what would he do?
It might get his glands to work.
Glands? And what is the glands?
The things that make you grow.
And have I got some glands?
I'd say you have your share of them.
Can we dip him in the well now?
Listen, this is not a sheep dipping station. I have no dipping here.
I'll tell you what you do. You give the glass of your water there.
And I am thirsty too, monsieur.
Give the girl a mug of water and don't be standing there doing nothing with yourself.
Now, what does my little moochie wish for?
I wouldn't like to tell you.
You drink up the water and then you can tell me.
Hold that, mother. Fifi.
Yes, Joseph! Oh,
You know this purple water. Maybe we won't have another honeymoon at Florida.
Well, Mammy, be a nipper. I like to tell this story, and this is a funny story. So you can all laugh if you want to. You are all laughing at me. I come from a large family. There was only 2 of us, but we were huge. The house that I live in is real small. It's so small that the mice are even hunchback. And the walls in our house are so skinny that the other day, my mammy opened up the oven door and the next door neighbour was dipping his bread in our gravy. And we all had to sleep into one bed, and there was 4 of us, and we all had to sleep into one single bed. And if you wanted to turn over in the bed, you'd have to go out the door and come in again backwards. And the woman that lived next door to us, she was very she was a dirty old woman. Her house was so dirty that the mice in her house used to even wear overalls. And she used to sweep all the rubbish under the carpet like that. So it wasn't long before you had to go uphill to play the piano. But this is a story about the day that we all made our confirmation. We were all delighted with ourselves. And you see, I used to like to have a few drinks before anything special. So Butler called down for me real early. Because he was after winning a few bob that he robbed. And he knocked real easy on my window with his hatchet. And I came out anyway. So we borrowed car off the next door neighbour. He weren't going to give it to us at first, but we kind of persuaded him to give it to us. But he recovered after in hospital. Anyway, so a few miles down the road and the car breaks down. So we had to walk 6 miles into the school. But Butler was real smart, he was. He worked it out. That the 2 of us were walking 6 miles, but that'd be only 3 miles each. He was real clever, he was. But anyway, we decided
decided to take the bus into school, and we made a fool out of the bus conductor. We bought a return ticket, and we didn't bother coming back. But anyway, we went into the schoolyard anyway, and there was all the 7 of us together. There was me, Butler, Whacker, Rasher, Razor, Hatcher, and Pocket. All the 7 of us in together, and we were all playing around in the back of the schoolroom. And the teacher was out in the loo. We were after changing these nerve tablets for Beach's pills. And he didn't know whether he was coming or going. But he was going every 10 minutes. So we all went to the chapel anyway, and we all knew that we were going to become perfect soldiers. We had our guns and all on us. And we were all sitting around the back of the chapel, smoking and all. And the bishop was sitting up in the front, sitting in his throne, throwing his weight around. And he had his big tall hat on him, and his big stick in his hand like that. You know the stick like what St. Patrick had for chasing the snakes out of Ireland? But he missed Leinster House. But anyway, we were waiting for him to finish his tea break. He was nearly 2 hours on his tea break, he was. And Butler was sitting beside me, and Butler was getting kind of cheesed up, you know. So then he pick up his lunch, and he lobbed it up like that at the bishop. And I knocked off the bishop's hat, and the bishop was raging, he was! Disgusted, he was! Because he was baldy. And he had his toupee on, and his toupee fell off as well. So then the bishop picked up his stick, and he lobbed it back down, and Butler ducked, and the stick hit me in the ear. I was disgusted. I nearly dropped me flag and a cider. So immediately I got me empty whiskey bottle, and I lobbed it back up like that, and the bishop ducked, and it split open the parish priest. But he didn't mind, because he was lousy drunk. He was he was a drunkard. So anyway, time came for us to go up and be asked our proper questions. And I went up first anyway. And the bishop was there standing in front of me with his false teeth going up and down in his mouth like that. I couldn't enjoy me back looking at him. So he asked me these kinds of questions. Says the bishop, who made the world? Says I, what? Says he, who made the world? Says I, you have to know. He stamped your card. I know the answer. So I went off anyway to get me money and all that and go off spending. And Butler went up next to me. You see, Butler couldn't talk right like me. He didn't get electrical cushion in school. And he was from a real rough area. The kids in his area used to rub the hubcaps off the cars, even if they were driving through at about 50 miles an hour. So Butler marches up in front of the bishop, and there he is shaking himself and throwing himself around in front of the bishop. And the bishop was getting afraid of me, he was, especially when he saw the big thick chain in his hand. So the bishop looked and he gave him an easy question. Says the bishop, what is the Blessed Trinity? Says Butler, oh yeah. There are 3 divine persons in the one God. Says the bishop, what? There are 3 divine persons in the one God. Says the bishop, what? Will you listen this time? Listen! Why don't you clean out your ears and listen? Now, there are 3 divine persons in the one God. Says the bishop, I don't understand. Says, no, you're not supposed to understand. It's a mystery, isn't it?
November 6, 1860, Abraham Lincoln became the 16th President of the United States of America. United States that consisted of 18 free states and 15 slave states. Its flag had 33 stars representing its 33 states and 13 stripes. Lincoln called the nation
a house divided, half slave and half free.
one of the truly great men of all time. Abraham Lincoln proved to the world that democracy could be a lasting form of government. On April 12, 1861, the Confederate guns of the slave states fired on Fort Sumter in South Carolina, unleashing 4 years of bitter, bloody fighting, destruction, and death in the American Civil War.
Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland.
Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson led the Southern forces to early victories at Bull Run and Chancellorsville, and hopes rose high that the Confederate cause would succeed.
Look away, look away, Dixieland. I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixieland I take my stand to live and die in Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie.
On January 1st, 1863, President Lincoln declared slaves to be free when he issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Gradually, but inexorably, the Union forces of General Ulysses S. Grant pushed ever deeper into the southern states. The Confederacy, strangled by sea blockade and consequent lack of supplies and arms, inevitably began to crumble.
I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die. A real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride a pony. I am the Yankee Doodle boy.
The Civil War, which took more American lives than any war before or since, ended in ignominious defeat for the South on April 9, 1865, leaving a heritage of grief and bitterness. But President Abraham Lincoln supplied a firm yet patient leadership that preserved the union of the states. Instead of claiming retribution from the defeated Confederacy, he pleaded,
Let us have malice towards none, or a charity for all. Bind up the nation's wounds. Care for him who's borne the battle, and followed widow and orphan. Do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace.
Lincoln's inspired address at the site of the Battle of Gettysburg on November 19, 1863 will remain his lasting epitaph. A classic statement of democratic beliefs and goals, the Gettysburg Address shaped the future of the great United States of America.
87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. This nation, under God, shall bring a new birth to freedom and the government of the people. by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling on the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed and made the lightning of the terrible slaying sword. His throne is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory,
I have seen him in the watchfires of the 100 serving camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I have read his righteous strength by the dim and fairy lamps. His days marching on.
glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory,
On April 14, 1865, President Lincoln attended a play at Ford's Theater in Washington. A few minutes after 10 o'clock, a shot rang through the crowded theater. John Wilkes Booth had assassinated the president. Abraham Lincoln was dead.
Join us on a musical whirlwind tour. Let's discover Ireland in song.
There's a road your arm will take you there. Discover Ireland. How sweet is to roam by the sunny shore stream and hear the doves coo 'neath the morning sunbeam, where the thrush and the robin their sweet notes entwine on the banks of the shore that flow down by Mooncoin. Flow on, lovely river, flow gently along, by your waters so clear, stand the lark's merry song, by your green banks and wonder, where first I join with you, lovely Molly, the rose of Mooncoin.
By lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay.
Killarney, heavens reflect Killarney.
There was an old woman from Wexford who makes the town as well. She loved her husband dearly, but another was twice as well. With me right the little arrow and me right the lurley. Says he, I go and down me said, although to be a sin. Says he, I go to the water, dredge, I had to push you in. With me right the little arrow and me right the lurley. So woman, she stepped back a bit to rush and push him in. But the old man quickly stepped aside and she went tumbling in. With me right the little arrow and me right the lurley. So she swam and swam and swam until she came to the further rim. But the old man dropped along before they pushed her further in. With me right the little arrow and me right the lurley.
To the home of my childhood away, to the days where each patriot's vision seemed bright, ere I dreamed that those thoughts should decay. Sure my heart was as light as the wild wind that blows down the Mardyke to each elm tree, where I sported and played, neath each leafy shade, on the banks of my own lovely lea, where I sported and played, neath each leafy shade, on the banks of my own lovely
Heroes of renown, the passing tales and glories that once was Dublin town, the hallowed halls and houses, the haunting children's rhymes that once was Dublin city in the rare old time. Ring a ring a rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin city in the rare old time.
The Garden of Eden has vanished, they say, but I know the lie of it still. Just turn to the left at the bridge of Finney and stop when halfway to Coot Hill. and fortune has come to my call. All the grass it is green around Valley James Duff, and the blue sky is over it all. And tones are tender, and tones are rough, till whispers come over the sea. Ah, come back, Paddy Riley, to Valley James Duff. Come home, Paddy Riley, to me.
Now, to wind up our tour, what better than a song written by a local man by the name of Willie Foley, and it's called The Rose of Ballinderry.
She's the rose of Ballinderry, Derry. She's the fairest of them all. And my heart will not be merry, merry till I wed my Ballinderry rose.
Now you may turn quite pale at the sight of Ballynail, or you may see the mansion in Monkine. But I know you'll get a shock if you stand in Tullahog and see the lights at Valentine.
She's the rose of Ballinderry, Derry. She's the fairest of them all. And my heart will not be merry, merry till I wed my Ballinderry rose.
Now you may cut a dash with the blonde up in Kincash, or you may wear the pride of Killinall, or you may spend an hour with the lasses in Glenbow, but I know the best one of them all.
She's the rose of Ballinderry, Derry. She's the fairest of them all. And my heart will not be merry, merry till I wed my Ballinderry rose.
There was lovely blue-eyed Nell from the street shop in Clonmel, and there was lovely Lizzie from Portlaw. I used to have her stop, and she's sitting on my lap, but she don't sit there anymore.
She's the rose of Ballinderry, Derry. She's the fairest of them all. And my heart will not be merry, merry till I wed my Ballinderry rose.
Now once I loved a queen from the village of Boheen, and once I loved a lassie from Cloneen. But now I know my mind, and I leave them all behind. I'll be off to the chapel any day.
With the rose of Ballinderry, Derry. She's the fairest of them all. And my heart will not be merry, merry till I wed my Ballinderry rose. Till I wed my Ballinderry rose.
Good evening. Hello, Betty. I'm Frank, remember? You know, something very funny happened to me this morning. I walked into a restaurant, and the cat did a whoopsie on the floor. And I skid in it, and I hopped my head off the floor. Then a big fat man came in, and he skid in it, and he hopped his head off the floor. And I said, "Excuse me, I just did that." And he nearly murdered me. Then I went in and sat at the table, and I was waiting for ages. And then when the waiter came down and said to me, "What will I have?" I said, "I'll have some service, please." And he said, "Come on, what are you going to have?" And I said, "I'll have some chicken." He went to the kitchen and brought me out my chicken. And I said, "Excuse me, my chicken has only one leg."
He said, what do you want to do? Do you want to eat it or dance with it? I said, come on, how come my chicken has only one leg? He said it was in a fight. Well, I said, here, could you take that back and bring me out the winner? Betty and me were sitting at the fire the other night, and my dog was very strange, you know. My dog was sitting at the fire and he was chewing a bone. And when he got up, he collapsed, because he'd only 3 legs left. Betty and I used to cycle, you know, but now I've got a car. And of course, Betty wants to learn how to drive, doesn't she? Yes, she does. And my advice to you is, if your wife wants to learn how to drive, don't stand in her way. You know, I went to a football match the other day, and when I came back, Betty said to me, Frank, how did you enjoy the match? And I said, I enjoyed what I saw of it. And she said, what do you mean? I said, on my way to the match, I got lost. And I met an old lady, and I said, can you show me the way to the football grounds? And she said, just to follow the crowd. And I ended up in the labour exchange. I went to the cinema the other night, you know, and when I came out, I went for a pint in the pub. But don't tell Betty. I hope you're not listening, Betty. I went for a pint in the pub, and I met a very old friend of mine, Tom Reardon. You remember Tom Reardon from the Reardons, don't you? Ah, hello. Nice to see you all here. And have you injected your liver against fluid? Because Benji is into shipping bulls these days. He ships 1,000 bulls a day, 7 days of the week, 52 weeks of the year, from Ireland to England. Sure, because Benji must be the biggest bull shipper in their country. Sure, look who it is, Eamon Marr. Come in, Eamon, and say hello. Hello, Mr. Reardon. Sure, come in, Eamon, and sit down and have your dinner, and have Benji's dinner, and have Mary's dinner. And sure, because while you're at it, you might as well have the bloody dog's dinner. Hello, Mr. Reardon. Sorry I'm late, Mr. Reardon. I had to bring the bull to the cow. Ah, sure, Eamon, wouldn't Benji not have done that? Ah, no, Mr. Reardon, it'd have to be the bull.
I'm going to be looking at those and other stories in a moment, but first the summary of today's other news, read tonight by Morris O'Doherty. Good evening. The news read tonight by me. The body of a woman believed to have been murdered 600 years ago was discovered in the Kilsheelan area today by archaeologists. The local Gardaí are looking for a 642-year-old man to help with your inquiry. A new pill has just been invented that weighs 3.5 tons. You put it up against your bedroom door and your husband cannot get in. And finally tonight, the toilet was stolen from the local Garda barracks last night, but the Gardaí cannot investigate the matter because they have nothing to go on. So now I'll hand you back to Dermot Mullane for the weather forecast. Well, I'm terribly sorry, Morris, but we're unable to bring you today's weather forecast due to the bad weather. So that's all from Newsnight for tonight. So until tomorrow night, good night.
I think you're making a very wise choice, Mr. Muldoon. They're a very good seller, you know.
Oh, I'm sure they are. You know me better, boy, than to try and hold anything up on me. Ned, I'm sure Mrs. MacLachlan wouldn't dream of asking for more credit until her long overdue account has been settled in full.
Mrs. Muldoon, I've never been so insulted all my life.
I didn't think it was possible to insult you. Pity you wouldn't be insulted with all the bills I've been sending you for the past year. You can pay for the blooming walls with them. Now, where was I, John? I want some of those bills in the assorted colours now. And I'm going to tell my husband the way I've been treating this shop today, the way I've been spoken to. I'm sure he'll forbid me ever to enter this shop again. Mary, you can tell Mrs. McLaughlin there's another shop off the street, and they are quite welcome to her custom any time she wishes to go there. And never be so insulting. Oh, my God.
Station, me pet. What? You shouldn't speak to the customers like that. Mrs. McLaughlin has been a customer here for years.
Charge that, Mrs. Muldoon. Put this in the book, Mrs. Muldoon. The book is closed, and the floor isn't swept yet. You've been leaning on that brush there for the last half hour, and here I am running around the house trying to do everything. Can't you see I'm busy with Mr. Beamish here? Mary, what are you wasting time for? In you go and get a nice glass of whiskey for Mr. Beamish. I know you'd like a nice glass of paddy now, wouldn't you?
Thank you, Mrs. Muldoon.
Come on you go, Mary.
Yes, Mrs. Muldoon. This way, Mr. Beamish.
Come on now, John.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Muldoon. It's very kind of you.
Not at all, dear. We'll finish our business later. Off you go now and enjoy your glass of paddy.
Yes.
Now, where am I getting you later after?
I thought I'd give Mary a hand.
Oh, did ya? Back to your sweetness. You know something, boy. I don't know why I ever married you. Only for the shop to be an entirely different man. You know something? When I think of all the good years of life that I've wasted on you, I feel like praying in a little jail. I'm doubting that, you know.
God bless the world.
Oh, before you start, I was trying to get down with you, cowboy. Here, Mr. Muldoon, you do it, dear. He's very good at things like that, you know. Where in the name of God did you get all that?
That's the wine. Oh, you mean this bag? Just a few bits and pieces I was bringing into Padshare for the auction.
Oh, because you're interested in antiques, then.
You're talking about herself again. Sure isn't she gallant? Will you look at them? A perfect piece of machinery. It works from morning till night and never a grumble. You never complain, sure you don't. And she's a little gem, she is. Good looking too. Will you look at that figure? She'd launch 1,000 ships, she would. If she was in Hollywood, she'd have been a film star. You'd love to be in the picture with John Wayne, wouldn't you? John Wayne was the best. Did you see The Quiet Man? He was great in that, The Quiet Man.
Well, what brought you in?
A little shopping for the winter, as well as a few items for the place. Herself needs a few things.
Oh, we'll fix her up.
You want a new dress, don't you, Maggie? Although she's lovely in that old red dress, kind of like a banty-legged fire engine. She's a great pair of legs, you know. She's so banty, when she puts on her white stockings, she looks like a life fence.
Well, now, we have a brand new selection after coming in.
And will you look at that complexion? She's like Maureen O'Hara in The Quiet Man. Take the mud pack, injured! Every night before she gets into bed, she puts on this mud pack. She's like sleeping next to a swamp.
Now, what about that? Isn't that right?
What do you call it? Right to tent. No, I want something nice and sexy for her. The price doesn't matter. I've had a bit of a windfall.
Well, I think she's Alka-Seltzer for you one time.
Didn't do her much good in France last year. The Alka-Seltzer didn't do you any good in France when you had the stairs. It took her 6 weeks to go to the bathroom.
Oh, Mr. Muldoon, run into the kitchen and get the biggest glass of whiskey out of half your life and bring it out to poor Mr. Delaney. Come on, go yourself.
Will I get a glass for Mrs. Delaney? Oh, because why not at all? If she drank a glass of that stuff, she'd break the wind barrier.
And now, what else do we do for Mrs. Delaney?
Some undergarments.
Oh, because they're fierce expensive. £3 a pair and 30p tax.
Don't mind about the tax at all, ma'am. She'll keep up with elastic. And use the old elastic, won't you? She wants to compliment you, I think.
Oh, yeah, fair enough,
Because I knew a fella once made a fortune getting round women.
Getting round the women?
He used to sell them costumes. He lived off the fat of the land.
Oh, there you are. Now, Mr. Delaney, drink that up now.
Thanks. Now, there's the list here.
Thank you very much. Let me see now. You want tea, sugar, nail paint, and a shovel.
the lights on. Poor Gran. She was never the same after.
You want cornflakes so cattle and Drover sauce.
That's for herself.
Take the liar! Doesn't it? Like an alarm clock she is. The same as the brother Paddy.
Oh, your man that went off to Australia.
The very fella. We'd a letter from him the other day. He told us he went into a pub in Sydney and he was so hungry he ate a boomerang. The barman had to throw him out 12 times.
You want 2 bags to make a bag of 10, 20 on a roll. How much more do you want, Mr. Delaney?
About 10 yards.
Next time I'll go. Store yourself to get 10 yards of rope for Mr. Delaney. Right away.
John Wayne was a great man with a rope.
He was great in the cowboy picture. What's he?
But he was best in the quiet man.
And you want Mr. Sovereign and a pig's head.
Aye, we want a pig's head as well. And you may as well leave the eyes in, so it will see us through the week. But she's a great cook, she is.
You're a great cook! Ask your Maggie!
She's unshaven, Martha. Just like Barney O'Hara in the quiet man.
Station me, Peter, I can't find the rule.
What rule?
To measure the roll.
Oh my God, but you're a hopeless bundle of a man. Will you come over here, Mr. Delaney, and put up your hands? And will you for God's sake wrap it around us? This is the way we used to measure it in the old days, you know.
Is it, begone? Herself does all those kind of jobs around the place at home.
Don't you, Maggie? You'll have to do all those kind of jobs around the place.
Gives me plenty of time to go to the picture. John Wayne was a great man with a rope.
Big God, that's a strange way of measuring the rope. I'll take up with your guts and your orders. And as for that old windbag, the pair of ye are well met.
Now see here, a joke is a joke, but this is going too far.
Mrs. Delaney, hand me those 2 scarves off that shelf.
Oh, what are you going to do?
I'm going to shut you up.
Mr. Dawson!
Here you are. You're all fussed up like a fine fat turkey. Maggie, come here. Come over, Maggie. Will you say something? Maggie!
You're the quiet man of sense. Come on, Mr. Muldoon.
We would like to interrupt this program for a commercial.
I'm the bard of Shleevlamon a comb, and from my high and lofty throne I record the events of the national scene from heathered slopes of rock and green. This summer it was dreadful, the worst in 100 years, but they record an amazing event which helped allay our fears. Town and country was deluged, and the rain fell down in quarts. But the statues, they moved everywhere, south, east, and west, and north. One morning as I gazed across on Waterford's vale and hill, I saw a moving object, and it gave me quite a thrill. The sight that graced my eye was a spectacle passing fair. It was Master McGrath the statue, and it chased a frightened hare. From my lofty perch on Shleevlamon, my eagle eyes did soar, and I spied a stricken craft on Dingle storm-tossed shore. But all was well, the Coast Guard came, like the cavalry of old, risked life and limb to rescue him, our hero, Charles the Bold. When Maggie Thatcher heard of his escape, her iron heart was quaking. But oh, the longing in her mind for Garrett, it was aching. But Charlie is a clever lad and knows what he's about. He'd love to tell dear Maggie that Fitzgerald is out, out, out. This year we held elections in dear old Carrick town. New faces, new ideas, some won, some went down. But when it came to getting votes, a bard came on the scene. For the man who topped the local poll was Seamus from Pound in the Lead. But what of dear old Ireland, not to mention Carrick town? With factories shut and jobs washed up, the future looks bleak and brown. Does Garrett care a desert? No, it's divorce and contraception. Not for jobs and work they legislate, but newfangled contractions. And so I close my chronicle, my State of the Nation story. Although things maybe look bleak and dark, there's also hope for glory. For when we've men like Geldof, McGuigan and Sean Kelly, should we despair or bend the knee? No, never, not on your Nelly.
Francis Albert Sinatra has had a string of #1 hits in his long and checkered career. One of the greatest entertainers of our time, he has appeared in over 50 motion pictures and won an Academy Award in From Here to Eternity. At 70 years of age, Sinatra is an institution in the world of entertainment. We pay tribute to Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes.
Chicago, Chicago, that buzzing town. Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around. You love it, bet your bottom dollar you lose the blues in Chicago, Chicago, the town that Billy Sunday couldn't shut down. Oh, State Street, that gray street, I just want to say, they do things they don't do on Broadway. Hey, they have the time of their life. I saw a man, he danced with his wife in Chicago, Chicago, my hometown. And now, the end is near. So I face the final curtain. My friends, I say it clear, I state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I've been off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up, I spit it out, I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. Start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York, those vagabond shoes are melting away. And gather round the start
sorry, it might be the wrong music. Sorry, it's the wrong music. Sorry. No, you're playing the wrong music. That's not the kid's music. No, you see, the kid likes a fast-moving piece. I'll have one as you're at it. No, the music is very important. You see, this is where the kid does his fan dance.
Tell him about the fan dance.
I was just saying it. I don't know why I bothered. He's had the flu, you see, haven't we all? But in his case, it's left him a bit deaf. Oh, you wouldn't think so to look at him. I mean, he looks normal. Sort of. But you can't always go by looks. Anyway, getting back to this fan dance. You see, the kid doesn't use an ordinary feather fan. No, he uses an electric fan. Well, the crowds like it. It's a bit of a novelty, and it does the kid a bit of good as well. But it is dangerous. Oh, yeah, very dangerous, though. You see, you have these huge blades, and they're spinning around at a terrific rate. Hey, kid, be sure to stay well away from those blades this time. Remember what happened the last time in Kilsheelan, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Hasn't been the same kid since, you know. Got too close to the fan. Blades cut the buttons right off his tuning. As well. You can always tell it's going to be a bad winter when they fly this far up the river.
Hey!
Oh, hello.
Are you putting it around that I'm not the whole shilling?
No.
Is it him then?
I'll ask him. Are you putting it around that he's not the whole shilling?
I don't want any.
He doesn't want it.
How much are they?
How much are... No. It isn't him.
Well, somebody's putting it around that I'm not the whole shilling.
You, want to keep it a secret, do you?
Yeah.
Well, I think you've got a pretty good taste if you can find out who's putting it around. No, Did somebody come on there? Your face is very familiar. I've seen you somewhere before.
Oh, I'm out of there now.
That's when I saw you. I didn't know I'd been in. God knows when I look at you two, won't be long before I'm back there. The next time he comes on, grab him. Haven't I seen you making a political speech?
Oh, yeah. I'm the TD for West Waterford.
Oh, that's nice. Does West Waterford know?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So, are you, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Labour?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know you've got one, isn't it? Hey, we've got one.
Have we?
When I look at you, I think we've got two and all. Well, I think it's a midget running between your legs, man. Anyway, I think we should have all women TDs. I mean, we've had some great women, haven't we?
I haven't.
No, not you. I mean, the country.
I'd rather have a Mars bar.
You'd rather have a Mars bar to a woman?
Any day.
Yes, any day. But what about at night? When the moon is high in the sky and the thought takes you. Hey, I bet you prefer something a little better than a Mars bar then, eh? I bet you like a nice bit of crackling then, eh?
Oh, you mean one of those crunchy bars?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, he'd prefer a Mars bar to a woman. So would I. Yeah, well, I might take up Mars bars myself. At the moment I'm onto the bounty bars. I like the coconut filling.
I only eat the paper.
The paper? I have seen you in there. I remember it now. Yes.
I've been away, you know.
Oh, it doesn't show. You wouldn't guess. No.
I've been to Africa.
To Africa? Hey, I bet you didn't go in that coat.
No, I went in an aeroplane.
I'll kick his legs out from under him in a minute. So, what were you doing in Africa then?
I was on a safari.
Safari? No wonder the animals were wild.
I was very popular, you know.
Oh, you would be, yes.
Why, when I was coming home, they even gave me a present.
A present? So what did they give you?
2 man-eating lions.
2 man-eating lions? Did they give you a few yards head start as well?
I brought them home with me.
Of course you would, yes. And where do you keep them?
In the box.
Are they there now?
Yeah.
I thought I heard a bit of rustling earlier on. Get 2 cups of coffee. I'll keep him busy here, and you...
Are you telling him about the lions?
Yeah, I was just saying it to him. Hey, he's got 2 man-eating lions in there.
How much are they?
How much better off with a set of spoons.
I've been to India as well.
Oh, God, he's been everywhere. Yeah, well, I'm sure they're nice people in India. Mr. Gandhi's like. Hey, I bet you they gave you something.
How much are they?
How much of what?
A set of spoons.
God! What did Mr. Gandhi give you then?
Oh, an elephant.
An elephant? You know, I have a question, and I'm rather afraid to... Is it male or female?
No, it's an elephant.
Yes, I know it's an elephant. But you see, you have male elephants, and then you have female I don't suppose it makes the slightest difference to you if it's male or female.
It wouldn't make any difference to anybody, only to another elephant.
Oh, stop you going to those youth clubs. Yeah. So, where do you keep the elephant now? Oh, wait, don't tell me. It's in the box, of course.
Don't be silly. You couldn't fit an elephant in there.
Oh, stupid of me. I should have known that. Hey, you couldn't fit an elephant in there. There's no room.
You could ask the giraffe to push over a bit.
What, frighten the damn lions?
I keep the elephants in a cage.
Of course. Sensible. He keeps the elephant in a cage. And where do you keep the cage?
In a box.
There'll be room in the van for the three of us. I'll try. Look, what say we sing a song and get off, eh? We have a key, Michael? B flat 7th major augmented sharp diminished fifth. No, get off. Get down for that.
Now, when I was a young man and never been kissed, I got to thinking it over, how much I'd missed. So I got me a girl from Mullingar.
But you'd be better off with a bounty bar.
Because she had kisses sweeter than wine. She had, kisses sweeter than wine. Sweeter than wine.
Now she was happy and she was gay, and I knew I'd love her all the way. She had eyes of blue and golden locks.
Where's she now?
She's in that box. She had kisses sweeter than wine. She had, you'll be tired, Jim! Kisses sweeter than
A show we staged in 1972. That song is probably now accepted by all musical societies as being their national anthem. But now, to continue our Showtime sequence, we have a number from another show. Marla sings What I Did for Love. Yesterday, goodbye. The sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I can't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. Rice. McGaldy, the nightclub performer, entertains Ada and her friends. But we have John to entertain us now with This Night of 1,000 Stars.
On this night of 1,000 stars, let me take you to heaven's door, where the music of love's guitars play forevermore. In the glow of those twinkling lights, we shall love through eternity. On this night in a million nights, fly away with me. I never dreamed that a kiss could be as sweet as this, but now I know that it can. I used to wander alone without a love of my own. I was a desperate man. Oh, my griefs disappear and all the sorrow I feared wasn't there anymore. On this magical day when you first came my way, me and more. On this night, on this night, on this night of 1,000 stars, let me take you to heaven's door, where the music of love's guitar play forevermore.
In 1968 and again in 1975, our choice was The Merry Widow, probably the most popular of all musicals. Brendan sings for us now the lovely serenade, Flowers Are Awakened in Maytime.
Flowers are awakened in Maytime to bloom their song of life through. Love in my heart you awakened the moment I met you. But your fleeting love should be all I'll ever know. Must I alone disenchanted through life's sweet summer ball? Sweet music on a summer night, heaven blue and a starry bright. So tender is your serenade, moments such as these are made. Oh, it will break my heart, we must part, you and I. Come, take me in your arms again, kiss me tenderly and then goodbye.
Now to a show awaiting its first performance, the new musical Chess. Elaine Page and Barbara Dixon have already made a hit with this, but we have our own Helen and Irene to sing I Know Him So Well.